Hey guys, and welcome back to Clannad. So let's just jump right back in. I stop her as she moves closer to me. What's wrong? You don't like that idea? No, I already got what I came here for. I show her the bread. I see. Then let's head to the dormitory then. We go out of the crowd. I'd like to eat the bread while walking, but Tomoyo has my other hand, so I'm quite troubled. I somehow manage to open it and expose half of it. I open my mouth and I am about to have a bite. What are you doing? She suddenly stops and turns around. What am I doing? Isn't this my lunch? Are you going to eat that right now? Yeah, since I'm hungry. You really act like a child. You should wait until we arrive at the dormitory. You'd be able to have some tea too if you eat it in the room. And I think it would be much more delicious if you can eat it steadily. That's why you should have some patience. A junior is treating me like a kid. You know what? Eat it anyway. Ha! I shoved the bread inside my mouth. As my teeth touched the bread, I felt something smooth and lukewarm. That hurts, you know. Tomoyo's hand is leveled towards her shoulder. The bread that I was about to eat suddenly turned into her hand. I won't let you behave like that in front of me. You suddenly shoved your hand in my mouth? Do you want me to eat it? It's okay if some dust falls on your bread. She pulls her hand away and gazes at it. Did you taste it? I didn't get to taste it, but my tongue touched it. Aren't you going to wash your hand? Like I said, we don't have much time. You're such a helpless girl. I take her hand and rub it with my own uniform. I really didn't mind this at all. Then I'd really look like a miserable kid. I see, I guess so. Thanks. Wash your hand after we return. You already wiped it, so it's fine. You really are lenient, aren't you? Really? It's actually the opposite. If I were that lenient to begin with, I would have let you eat your bread here. That's true. That's why I'm strict with time, too. So, let's go. She pulls my arm and starts walking. In the end, I wasn't able to change any position at all. Here's the tea. It's hot, so be careful. Sit properly and eat, all right? She gives me a big teacup, and after that, she kneels down beside the bed where Sunohara is snoring loudly. Hey, wake up! What time do you think it is? It seems he's awake. His eyes meet with Tomoyo's. Wah! He tumbles sideways as he runs and stands up at the wall. You look like you've woken from some nightmare. No. Well, why are you here? Not just me. Yo. I raise my hand that was holding up the tea. And why is Okazaki drinking tea here? It's not just tea, lunch too. Oh wait, no, wait. Not just tea, but lunch too. Munch munch. Huh? He's unable to grasp the situation as he makes that hysteric voice. We only have 10 minutes for the bell to ring. Prepare yourself so we will make it on time. Okazaki? What? Is this some kind of punishment game? Punishment game? I came and woke you up out of kindness. Hey, I told you we don't have much time. It's alright, so go and change your clothes. Okazaki! Tomoyo goes behind the mountain of manga. It's bad manners to be eating while reading manga. She confiscates the manga I was reading. You're just like a kid. You too. You're taking too much time just changing to your school uniform. This has been my style since I was little. You're even more like a kid than me. Moreover, did you wash that shirt? I washed it. It has some stains on it. That was from last night. Don't lie, you washed that last week. She steps back and leaves everything to me. Have all these clothes scattered around been like that? Probably. I suddenly feel quite sick. You'll get infected by Sunohara's germs. What will happen if I get infected? He'll turn into a poor thing. It's an incurable disease? Yeah, it's incurable. You're talking about me, right? If you have time to meddle with us, why don't you prepare for school? You're bullying me! Is this my unlucky day? Damn it! He tumbles around as he desperately started changing into his clothes. Both of you really act like kids. She smiles as she watches us. We're only really this lazy when it comes to school. But I think it'd be more fun if you guys would act in a more organized fashion. Even if it's like that, it's not exactly getting in someone's blood. Well, since there are different kinds of people... Tomoyo stretches her hand and wipes the tip of her mouth with her tip of my mouth with her index finger. Shall we go then? She then stands up. We arrive at the classroom as the bell chime rang. Hey, Okazaki. Huh? Why did it turn out like this? It turned out like this when I walked past her at the corridor. That's all? Yeah, that's all. So this is one of those miraculous events, right? This will only happen once in a lifetime, right? We're so lucky. He staggers as he walks to his seat. He looks a little pitiful. Boop-a-doops. I got woken out of my out of my free will this morning. I feel so dull. It's already noon. Well, what do we have for 6th period? Just look around and you'll figure it out. Huh? The girls have already left the classroom, transforming it into a boys' changing room. Ed seems so dead. What are we doing today? Soccer. That's boring. Well, I'm suddenly psyched. You're an ex-member of the soccer club. You just want to show off. I'll show you something new. Instead of actually teaching anything, the instructor just makes us play a match. It's so we feel like we're getting a break from studying. Even though I never bother to play, he doesn't say a word. It all feels like a throwaway baseball match. All right, a hat trick! Only the voice of the former soccer club member echoes enthusiastically. I got too serious there. 6 points in a single match. Isn't that just about the average score in J-League? Yeah, you're a super genius. It's the average points in J-Beefer, not J-League. What's that? That sounds good. It sounds more like something tasty to me. But you know, I wasn't even playing at half strength. You were saying that during second half, though. Well, it's been a while since I worked out like that. We're going to visit someone and play. I don't have any money. There'll be someone at the game center. That again. If only the rugby members weren't around, it would be heaven. In the end, I hang out with them. All I end up doing is watching Sunohara's game. I'd rather not play on someone else's tab. Even so, it kept me from being bored, so it was worth it. The girl created my body from junk. A piece fell off and stabbed the dead grass in this giant field. As if it were a corpse. Many corpses. Corpses of many different things. I trembled at the thought of it. That's what my body was. But this body was built entirely with this junk. I couldn't calm my shaking arm. If so, that means she could create a doll with a will of its own just like me. There was plenty of junk around if you bothered to look. As I'm sure she did for me, I began to collect pieces of junk with my small body. The girl looks at me curiously. I put the junk together before her eyes. However, even if tightly assembled, it would come apart. The girl did the same, as if she finally understood my intention. This time it worked. She points at my body. Do you want a new body? I crossed my arms to motion that I was fine with my body. A friend? Do you want a friend? That's not really it. I just thought that if we could create another like myself, we could probably have more fun. Well, the end result would be the same, so I nod. That's right. Being alone is sad, isn't it? I'm sorry. That was not what I meant. However, I could only look up at the girl's face. It might be impossible. Nevertheless, do you want to try? I nod. Then let me try. The girl began to assemble the junk. We were a bit short on parts, so we went outside and searched for more. How many trips have we made? Thinking about it, I began to understand. Making my body must have been just as difficult. We went late into the day with looking for junk. Standing on top of the hill, we looked over the horizon. The view of the ground continued on forever, to the far-off distance. I wonder what lies at the end. Compare myself with the grass around me. I couldn't figure it out with this small body. Look! When I turn towards her voice, I see she's holding a lone animal to her chest. Something other than us lives in this world. It had fluffy white fur and 2 winding horns next to its ears. I didn't like the sight of it. Just like a person, though I'm not a person myself, I won't get along with it. In the first place, we didn't really care about it at all. Even then, the girl liked touching it. After picking it up, she pats its head and stomach. As she is doing that, she slowly climbed the hill. I follow after her. When we passed the hill, a group of these animals had formed. They vary in shape and size, but are all the same kind of creature. The girl put down the one she has in her arms. It doesn't look back, walking off and leaving us. I look at them and think, these things don't have a heart. All they do is exist. But even if it doesn't become attached to her, she just wasn't going to turn her back on the poor thing. Besides these things, she's the only living thing in this world. That's why the girl wanted to be able to touch the things she liked. As I watch them, the animals start to ruthlessly bite the flowers on the ground. If this sort of thing continues, this greenery will be destroyed. No matter how many or how beautiful they are, no one would find this sort of situation amusing. I put the junk I was holding down onto the ground and drive away the animals by cutting through them. They show no resistance and scatter, only to begin eating the grass again. It was a futile move. "What's wrong? Are you angry?" This girl's voice came from behind. "No, it's just sad." "You want to be patted on the head?" "Well, sure, I'd like that, but..." I looked closely at the ground that had been mauled. She thought nothing of the damage that had been laid waste here. It is sad and lonely. She crouches down and brushes my head. I sort of understood. "It can't be helped. There's nothing we can do about it." That's what she said. Yeah, it's something that doesn't change. That's all I could think of that. Alright. It's April 22nd. As always, I'm late. I sigh again. I climb up the empty slope. I look at the time. It's just about the end of the 3rd period, which is when break starts. A year back, I walked into class not caring whether it was a session or not. At times, the teacher began arguing with me and delaying class when that happened. Now that I'm a senior, if I did that, it'd be a nuisance to the other seniors focused on studying. Calculating when to attend school is a little bit of my consideration. It never hurts to avoid a mess with the teachers, too. There'd be no one placing the blame on anyone around this time. Nope, there's one. "Where are you going carrying your bag at this hour? Don't tell me you just arrived at school." I wonder what would happen if I said so. "I'm going home right now." "Eh? Why? Are you feeling sick?" Yeah, might be because of a cold." "Is your house near?" "If it's near, then I'll have to escort you there." I didn't imagine that she's going to worry seriously. If she finds out I'm lying, I might fly in the air too. "Well, I'll be alright alone." "Really? How's your temperature?" She combs her forelock upwards and slowly moves her forehead towards mine. I suddenly avoid it. "Why are you avoiding me?" Well, I'm just going to check your temperature." "No need for that. Just stay still." She grabs both my shoulders like an eagle. She then pushes me to the wall and moves her face towards mine, and then her forehead touches mine. With the back of my head on the wall, my head's current state is like a sandwich. This would probably look like a love scene. The position we have looks like we're about to kiss. I don't think you're feverish. She opens her mouth as we stay in that position. Her moist breath hits my nose directly. Huh, isn't that weird? Or is it you're just beginning to feel sick? Yeah, I'm just beginning to feel sick. But you should be coughing too. I want to cough. But since your face is just in front of me, I thought it'd be bad. Although you say so, are there any coughs you can't stop you can stop voluntarily? What is this then? Can you explain why you've managed to remain like this without coughing as if healthy? That's self-control. You can't control coughing. Like I said, I end up doing it. Because if I cough, you might catch a cold too. I don't mind. We stay like this for a while. I was thinking of coughing, but when I thought about her face in front of me, I just couldn't. I guess you really are pretending to be sick. She finally releases me from her grip. You probably thought I wouldn't notice, right? I don't forgive lies, but the way you put it actually wasn't too bad. I wonder what would happen if I cough. I think I'd do bad things to you. I guess then it was better that we didn't go through all that trouble. I regret it a little bit. Anyway, you should properly attend class. Yeah, I understand. Oh, Okazaki, good morning. A student suddenly greets me as he goes back inside the room. Good morning? Well, that guy must surely be half asleep, since I've been here ever since this morning. Well then, I'll ask someone in your class for the reason. How about asking if you were here during first period? No, wait! What, do you feel like saying it yourself? Yeah, I'm late. Something wrong with that? I become serious. Jeez. Lying by leaving early just to hide the fact that you're late. She stands up and looks at me unexpectedly with the corner of her eyes. Well then, I'm in a hurry. That's a perfect line to cut our conversation so I can quickly leave. Wait, tell me the reason why you're late. I slept late last night. I forced my answer so I can get inside the classroom. I see. Okazaki isn't a morning person. Don't just decide that yourself. Well then, you have a different reason, right? Does that sort of thing really matter? I'm just asking since I'm worried. Or am I bothering you? No, not really. Well, it's not that you're bothering me. How do I say this? I'm saying you have much more important things to do. Things to do? Yeah, it hasn't been too long since you were admitted into the school, right? Come on, do you think your friends will ignore what happened yesterday? You should follow up with them. They'll probably ignore it, and even if I follow up as you say, they'll take it as a joke. Did I do something wrong? Did those guys from yesterday morning say anything? Yeah, that. Were they normal as always? They were normal, as always. Were they talking about me? Yeah, they were. What did you talk about? I told them I'm close to you and you're a cheerful person. And then? Well, then I told them that I just met you recently and they suddenly burst out laughing. Doesn't that mean they're making fun of you? That isn't so. Even I understand that much. Then in the end, they told me that's just like me. Tomoyo smiles awkwardly as she says that to me. I wonder if those words are true. If so, I shouldn't ask any more questions that will get me into trouble. I think I get it now. About what? By the way, are you trying to change the subject? You haven't answered my question yet. The bell's about to ring. I'm looking at the time. Following that, the bell starting fourth period rings. Later then. I jump inside the room as if to escape from her. Yo! I was greeted as I sat in my chair. You're quite early. I thought I shouldn't go until lunch break begins because of what happened yesterday. I'm thankful then. I might be dragged around again. Let's spend our time carefree today. Guess so. Boop-a-doop. Are we going to eat in the cafeteria today as well? If you'll treat me, then I don't mind going outside. You stole my line. We're both poor. Don't talk like we're the same. so crowded. Let's buy bread and head back to the classroom. Yeah. I wonder if I should find a part-time job. Evening job? Yeah. You wouldn't have any energy left during school if you worked at night, right? It'll be alright. It's not physical labor. Or if it's not physical labor. For example, a job that uses my brain. How about being a tutor? What in the world are you going to teach then? Aren't I good at English? I am. Pretty dog. Oh, are you pretty dog too? It's a miracle. Well, a talking dog would be a miracle. How about that? My pronunciation is perfect, right? Your defense is so full of holes, I'm speechless. It's perfect, I tell you. Mamantai, right? That last part wasn't English, you know. Well, the point is, students are poor. Stop stating the obvious. Can I join you too? A voice just near our seat. But I am all out of time for this episode, guys. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!